All right, hello. We're getting started here. Welcome to the Musicians Talk Show podcast. It's episode 105. I'm one of your two co-hosts, Dallas Dwight.
And I'm number 2, but not in any kind of sense of the... Never mind, I'm Matt Talley.
Welcome to the show. Well, I had to hit start because we were just in the middle of a cool conversation. I wanted to capture it. We were talking about, we were talking about cars. Let's talk about that. What did you say right before I hit record?
Okay, so this is kind of out of context, so just bear with me for a second. But
it's fine.
People who drive nice cars and with better technology, more expensive cars, higher class cars, are always going to look like assholes to people who drive shitty cars because they're in traffic or whatever, just like trying to, get out of the way, stay out of the way, whatever, in their shit box, whatever. And then this other guy comes flying across us. You know what I mean? There's so much contrast on the highway that you see. It's funny. It's funny. I know. What were you saying?
I was going to say, the other day, this scared the shit out of me. I'm just driving somewhere, doing my own thing, just in my lane. And then I just hear like an explosion to the left of me, and this Lamborghini just goes just flying by, like with like the
flames.
You know how they have? It's basically, it sounds like backfires. I don't know anything about cars, but it's like it literally sounds like explosions as it's driving.
It's backfire.
It's like Jesus, dude. Like, I think I was on maybe like a highway or something, not an interstate, but I was probably doing like 55. He had to be doing like over 80.
Yeah, man. Those cars can do a lot more than that.
Oh, that's a Lamborghini. I've seen a lot of Lamborghinis lately. Like they're usually pretty rare. I've seen like 4 or 5 in 2020.
Essential. I got some money. I'm gonna go buy a car.
Yeah, for sure.
If it's not a Corvette,
I saw a Ferrari over in South Park one time. Like just the straight up like red Ferrari that you're thinking of when you think of Ferrari.
Oh, red is the color, man. I'm telling you.
I've seen a few Aston Martins, a bunch of Maseratis. I've seen that one car dealership by Sam Ash has all the cool cars.
Yes.
I saw an R8 the other day.
Yeah, the Aston Martins are fucking beautiful.
There's a car dealership in Charlotte right by the Sam Ash, the music store. And
that's where
it literally is a dealer
can
for
drive
like
right by cars they could never afford.
Yeah, which is in a weird part of town. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exit, like it's fucking Tyvola. Jesus, I couldn't think of the name.
Yeah.
Tyvola.
Yeah, exit 5, I think, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, we're here to talk music, but that's a little car stuff for you. This is the car podcast.
Barely car stuff, but more metaphorical.
Welcome to CarCast. There better be a podcast called the CarCast.
There's definitely something.
Yeah, otherwise we're starting one. 2 guys talk about cars that one of them doesn't know about cars.
Yeah. Sounds like a good idea. All right. So what are we talking about today, Dallas? We got to do a weekend review.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. We played 2 gigs this weekend. They were pretty fun.
Let's talk about it. I didn't play any gigs, so.
Well, yeah. What'd you do this weekend?
What did I do? Nothing. No, nothing. I didn't really do anything. I remember I was going to go to a show and I did not go, so.
Cool.
Nothing.
That's usually the right call.
Yeah. So, anyways.
What was the show?
I was going to go to Uncle Buck at Skylark. I've been meaning to check them out.
Oh, we're playing Skylark on Thursday.
Oh, yeah. Sweet. Well, I'll have to come check you out then. Thursday.
Yeah. I forgot to put that on the band calendar, though, and everyone was like, wait, what?
Sweet.
So that was fun.
It's a cool place. I got some good sound there.
Yeah, I've never been.
People.
Never been. Is it an actual like music venue, or is it just like?
Yeah, no, it's a legit music venue. Small
like
bar
kind of thing.
Yeah, compared to the Milestone, but it's, I don't know. It used to be a couple things actually. It was something before, like it was that place. It was what is another. I can't remember something house. The something house. I don't know. It was that, but and it was the same thing. It was like they've just been doing the same thing in it, but it's playing music in a small bar that you can drink PBRs all night.
All right,
it's good. It's good. That's
cool.
Fun.
Well, we'll probably be in and out of there pretty quick.
Yeah,
our set's pretty short.
Who are you playing with?
I don't remember. I'd have to look. Okay. I forgot. They all have names they all have like names that I have trouble remembering. What time are you guys
going on? Are you going on early or late?
I honestly don't know. We'll figure that out probably like the day of. So
yeah, I got you.
I don't know. We booked all these gigs within like 10 days. So I can't keep them all straight. We booked like over 20 within like a 7 to 10 day period.
Right. It gets
and I was just like contracts coming in and out constantly, like 3 different people asking me stuff. Like, it's like, dude, I don't know. We'll like take them as they come.
Yeah.
That's the only way to handle it.
Yeah. Just like, all right,
get it on the calendar and then figure out the details like the week
of. Don't miss one. Don't forget.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think we forgot one.
That's good.
But we played 2 this weekend. So after our Amos's gig last week, we're ramping up. So we took the beginning of the year off to build up some hype for that gig.
Right.
Dude.
Yawning. Like a little bitch.
Now you guys can watch me yawn too. It's awesome. Watch me yawn in high def.
Hopefully you guys all start yawning at the same time too, because apparently it's contagious. I have to look away when he does it.
It is, yeah.
Even the sound of it.
Yeah.
Contagious.
Oh, dude. Well, I'm always tired. It's part of the reason. Because I'm usually coming off a weekend of gigs and then getting up super early on Sunday for stuff, and then we podcast right after that.
Yeah.
So.
It's a good timing to do it.
And sometimes I'm just waking up for a nap. Like I napped for like 5 minutes right before you got here. So
napping.
I'm always like,
Big boy.
Always like, what's up,
Naps
Matt?
help.
Like,
Naps help though. Especially if you have stuff to do later, man. If you're feeling drowsy, you gotta nap.
If you're feeling drugged, I thought that's what you said.
Drowsy.
If you're feeling drugged, just take a nap, dude.
Tired, drowsy.
So we play Bradshaw's Social House, I think is what it's called. Yeah, Bradshaw's Social House. Say that 10 times fast.
That's a tough one.
It's over on Ray Road.
Okay.
Valentine area.
Yeah, the crowd looked awesome.
That was the second night, but
okay. The first night.
The crowd was awesome the first night too. Yeah, it was the same kind of thing, but
okay, cool.
Different spots. So yeah, dude, the people over at Bradshaw, there are some nutty people over there. Like it is like just, I don't know what they do at that place, but they just attract a lot of strange people.
People come to party, man. That's why they want to have a good time.
Yeah, but like
get weird.
I mean, most people there were pretty good this time, but we've seen some weird people there. This is one lady that looked exactly like Marilyn Monroe. What am I saying? Like the white dress, the white like short dress, the same hair, like the red lips, looked exactly like her. And she just started dancing. And we were like, oh, cool, she's dancing to the music. But she didn't stop dancing. When we stopped playing, she didn't stop dancing. When we took a break, she didn't stop dancing. She was just doing this like swaying, like I think she was fucked up.
I think she was too.
Like I don't know what it was, but it had to have been like ecstasy or something. Because
probably a good guess.
She just danced there the entire time in the same spot.
That's a good crowd, man. They come to have a good time, dude.
We had fun. There was a Hispanic birthday party group of like probably 20 people, and they kept running up and they would just clog up the entire dance floor, which was awesome.
Nice.
So it had good energy to it. They were all pretty attractive, so we didn't mind that at all.
There you go.
The thing with Bradshaw though is both shows this weekend we're standing on the floor.
How do we tie this back into
6 inches away from
business
from people?
I got an idea to tie this back into business. Is the three? What are the three measuring tools of a gig? Whether it's there's opportunity, there's pay. And there's good time, there's fun. So there's like three things, and they have to add up to be, what's the rule?
15.
Do you remember that? 15.
So you rank each one on a scale of 1 to 10.
1 to 5.
1 to 10.
1 to 10. Okay.
Yeah. So the best you can get is 30.
Okay. Right.
If it's super fun, pays really well, and has huge career potential.
Those gigs don't exist. Those are unicorn gigs.
Yeah. If you get those gigs, you've already made it. So.
Exactly. You're playing Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
But
like a fun gig with no pay or no career potential would be like your friend's house party.
But so that adds up though. Is what I'm saying is that gig now gets a little bump in the book as far as like to play next time or something like that. Because remember those crazy kids that came out and just partied and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And if that becomes the regular thing over there, then that's
so like
fun to be
you could have. Well, I'll try to give an example of a gig in each category. So like a huge career potential gig could be like a big major festival.
Exactly.
Like if you're playing, I don't know, some big rock festival opening for Guns N' Roses or whatever.
Right.
And you're probably not getting paid a lot, but you're going to play in front of
all
50,000 people
crowds,
or whatever.
Right.
So that'd be good career potential, but low pay, and that'd probably be pretty high on the fun list as well. The fun example with no pay or career would be the house party thing. And the middle one where you might be thinking like, what's really high pay but no fun and no career potential? That'd be like your corporate gigs.
Right. Exactly.
Where you go and play and you make good money, but nobody cares about you. You're basically a jukebox. They're not buying your merch. They don't even care what your name is. They're just there to literally like absorb background music.
Right. And what's the rule of thumb?
You get your paycheck.
The rule of thumb, just to wrap that up, is 15. You don't play it. Is that what it is?
Right. So if it's
not 15?
so like a true corporate gig, if it's going to be 0 on the fun and 0 on the career potential, and it's a 10 on the money, so meaning you're getting like a lot of money,
right?
You'd still have to probably consider not doing that,
right?
Because it's just 10 and doesn't add to 15.
Exactly.
But if you're thinking like, you know what, like this corporate gig we played last night, it was a sorority gig. So like, okay, that's going to be a little higher on the fun scale because it's young kids. They're going to have a good time. So, if it's a 5 on the fun scale, that's 15.
Right.
So there you go.
Right. And then hire a photographer of a bunch of people having a good time and use it on your social media and stuff.
That could do some career potential.
There you go.
Yeah.
Cool.
Figure that stuff out. But yeah, the sorority gig we played was super fun. They were, this is so funny. It didn't even occur to me that they'd all bring dates. I literally thought it would be just girls.
That's interesting.
And then when I walked in there and it was like more guys than girls, I was like, what?
Yeah. That's how those things work.
So I didn't think about it.
That's
so funny.
They were all dressed to the nines too, so that was cool.
Yeah, it was a formal. And then we're up on stage in jeans and flowing, I don't know, scarves and stuff.
Right.
Chains.
I'm sure they loved it.
Yeah, they had a good time. So the first set, it's been this way with a lot of corporate gigs we've done. The first set is a total bust. Nobody cares. It's like we're not even there. No clapping.
What do you attribute that to? What do you think that could be? That the first night is just a bust and then the next night kills? Like, how does that?
No, not
work?
night. The first set.
Oh, set. Okay, so it's different. Okay.
So then the second set, a new busload of people came in.
Oh, okay.
And one girl in particular literally was dancing by herself and like pulling people up to dance with her.
Right.
She single-handedly started that entire party.
Right.
And then before we know it, like 2-3 songs later, the dance floor is packed so much that we can't see Daryl, our sound guy in the back.
That's awesome.
It was just slammed, and they're right on us. Like they're as close to me as like this camera, literally right here. Like,
right.
And they kept reaching out and like touching us, like they grab our sunglasses and all kinds of stuff. It got pretty crazy, but it was really fun.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, you know, a good group
never
of
been
people
touched that much
that are
when I
having
played.
a good time. You never been touched that much? You feel violated?
Never.
Think about
been
Steel
touched.
Panther. Dude.
I was joking with Matt. I said, for being in like a post Me Too world and playing in a sorority, it was
dude. You won't believe in Me Too if you fucking go to a Steel Panther show. Those girls will. They are ravenous on those guys. It's crazy.
It's just so funny.
It is. I mean, there's obviously like outliers of everything. Like the Me Too movement is a big thing. People feel that way. Like they have a problem with people touching them all the time and you know always being ridiculous. Yeah, I get it. Like there's definitely a portion of people that have that issue. But it's not like all women in the whole world feel that way. Like, definitely some women definitely. I
definitely like if I was less chill about it, I could have had like some problems. But it's fine. They were just having fun. It's all good.
You should have the backup plan just in case it does get a little too much for you. You better have some words prepared to how you're gonna, because you do it.
Well, where we drew the line is when they started trying to like grab our mics and stuff. Because like we've had people grab mics and drop them and they break. One mic actually got knocked over last night, but it was the 57. So the 57s are always going to be okay.
Yeah, they're pretty tough.
Or if they do break, it's less money than the nice expensive ones.
Exactly. But still, the point is they can knock mics over and cost you money, and you're like only making so much money on the gig anyways. You take $100 off for that SM57. Yeah. It's already $100. You just knocked $100 off your pay basically to replace that mic.
And we I was gonna say something else about that. Oh yeah, I'm singing "Drops of Jupiter," which is a song I really rely on the lyrics for because there's so many of them. And they grab the iPad that the lyrics are on and turn it towards them so they could see the lyrics. And I was like, I literally reached down and like smacked their hands away and pulled it back. I was like, no, I'm drawing the line there. I need this right here.
Don't touch that.
Don't start touching our gear.
Oh, that's the problem. Yeah, that is.
They strum my guitar at one point.
Yeah, there's a clip of Slash in that video of them playing "It's So Easy," I believe, early in the day, and Slash jumps up on the front right there and starts playing the solo, and some girl I think grabs she like smacked her hand away and then like went back to playing. It was just a funny like.
Tried to grab what?
The tuner, or it was like the whole headstock of the guitar.
Oh Jesus!
And he was just like, hey, like he smacked her and then readjusted and then started the guitar solo again in the middle. It was so funny.
Well, with them,
just like
they're probably not in a position where people can reach them very.
Not
often.
now. This was in the early days. This was like in that
gotcha.
It's So Easy video. I'm pretty sure.
in the video.
I'm pretty sure it's from that live at the Ritz or something.
Every Guns fan that saw that show said that's the best show they've ever seen of that.
I mean, look at the crowd, dude. The crowd was just crazy. Everybody was all over the place.
But they said that's just the best they've ever sounded.
Oh, okay.
That was pretty interesting.
That is interesting because that's probably a raw sound, as far as like they didn't hit everything perfectly. Especially like you look at that guitar solo, he didn't even hit the guitar solo because people were grabbing him, Which is the thing about live shows. You're never going to get the perfect take, but you'll get a good energy. The energy behind it all is so much better.
People don't really, it took me a while to realize this, but people don't care how you sound. They care how you make them feel.
Exactly. And then that's partly how you look and you're having a good time on stage. They're having a good time.
Yeah.
They're, it's just all of it,
Yeah, we thought it was going to be brutal after that first set, though. So we
thinking,
literally were like eating some of the catering over in the corner by ourselves. Like, all right, guys, this is going to suck. Let's just get through it. And then
definitely got to wait it out.
Turned it up, dude.
You definitely got to wait it out because, as the night comes in, like people get a little more drunk too and more loose, more fluid. Like if you think about like a school dance, dude, even just that, because that has nothing to do with alcohol. Like back in high school, like how slow they start and then eventually they kind of turn into chaos or whatever.
Yeah.
That's the same idea. It's like just warming them up, It's just like that's how it happens.
Yep.
So
also, it's a bunch of young kids, 18 to 22.
Might not have been what they're expecting.
Not comfortable with themselves yet,
Yeah, right.
They're not going to be the one that go like that one girl ended up being a
pretty
senior.
good age. But
we talked to her for a while. She was really cool. She because we were like, thank you. She single-handedly started the whole party.
Yeah,
she was just dancing by herself, going nuts, having a good time, didn't care what anyone thought. Yeah, and then she would reach to the tables around her and be like, come on, you're coming, let's go. Yeah. And like pretty soon there were enough people there where the shyer ones felt comfortable.
Yeah.
So it was awesome. But you can clearly see like everybody's like, you can see what they're thinking. They just wear it all on their face. Like, okay, this girl wants to dance so bad, but she's terrified.
Yeah.
She's just super shy, doesn't want to look like an idiot,
Yeah, man.
All the stuff.
Sounds good. It sounds like that busload of people coming in at the end. Was she on that busload? Is that what you were saying? Or was she just...
I don't know when everybody got there. Just, you kind of looked up and there was more people. We're like, okay. So it was like at a wedding venue area.
Badass. So fun level on... What would you say?
The first set, 0. And the last sets were
overall,
nice. Yeah.
So overall?
7, 8.
7, 8. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. I'm sure you guys got paid
ended up being really fun.
good.
Yeah, corporate gigs pay pretty well.
There you go. Perfect.
So.
Anyways, so good weekend review. That's good.
Yeah,
Positive.
fun
Let's
weekend.
keep them positive. Picked up a couple more gigs, Prep and Barium, so that's cool.
Nice.
Still adding more stuff to release too. So
what you got? What dates?
April 11th, we're gonna do what's it called? A Flatiron in Greensboro. So that's cool. I want to get us out there too. A little spread us out because we've been playing a lot in Charlotte, obviously, but it's time to move a little bit. So.
Yeah, start spreading the wings.
Yep. So, anyways, and we're good on schedule this year too. It looks like we got a nice open schedule as far as racing. So.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, so you'll be able to do more.
Yep. Hey, I wanted to bring up some cool stuff that I found on the interwebs, kind of the YouTube and Hulu and Netflix stuff. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right. So the first thing that I just found, literally like before I came here and watched it, it was How to Be Mark Ronson, and that's on YouTube. That's pretty awesome.
So what is it and how long is it?
So it's How to Be Mark Ronson is like his story of his life, like what he did to get where he got. Like it's like kind of the steps that he took. And there's a little bit about his personal life and stuff in there too. Like they talk about his parents and they talk about like his love life just a little bit, but it's mainly his music career steps, which is why it's so perfect for, fans of this show to listen to, because, well, the thing about like everybody's story is like it's not like guaranteed to work out, but they make it work out due to the steps they take, like how he approaches everything he does. Like he's like, okay, well, this is what I'm going to do now, and this is what I'm going to do, and obviously his love of music drove all of it, but he made the right steps to get the like first of all the credentials to do what he's doing now, and it's impressive. It's really impressive, and who he hooked up with early, and obviously proved himself with. There was definitely some hit songs that he wrote early on that people were just like. Anyways, go watch that. That's free on YouTube. Anybody can watch that.
Famous music producer, and you guys probably know him most well for the song "Uptown Funk," which people think is a Bruno Mars song, but it's actually a Mark Ronson song featuring Bruno Mars.
Right. So, Lady Gaga.
He's in the video. He's the white guy. He's the only white guy.
Winehouse.
He's the one that just kind of bobs his head.
Yeah. He produced the Queens of the Stone Age last record, which is one of my favorites. And I love the fact that, and they talk about this right off the bat in the documentary, that he's a conduit. Okay. So he's like he takes something that somebody does and makes it, this finished product, and he makes it amazing. Like it's not even. All he needs is somebody who's real, genuine art, and he can make it, something amazing. Right. And in a lot of cases, he writes the music right behind it. Like in some of the hip hop stuff, or in like Lady Gaga stuff or Amy Winehouse stuff, he's like kind of making the beats and making the stuff for her, and creating the song with them. That's real full on producer. That's the full role. Not like a songwriter brings you a bunch of songs.
Like a little more hands on.
That's like almost development. You know what I mean? So,
yep.
Anyways, that's how good he is, and obviously he makes his own music too, and this is amazing. It's awesome. It's different than what other people could, because it's other people's visions and stuff like that. But it's amazing. The guy's awesome. Can't say enough about him.
Yeah, I've always liked him. Yeah, he has the album that Uptown Funk is on is just a great album all the way through.
Is that
it's his own album too.
Yeah. No, I only found out about him about whatever it was, like 2 years ago when that Queens of the Stone Age record came out, and I like did some deep. I was like, so they sought him out like to make this next record.
Cool. That's a cool move.
And it's a cool move because they said that they were listening to all this pop stuff that he does, and just like everything just sounds so tight, like it's in a vacuum.
Yeah, like, not a lot of reverb. That's nice,
like we want to do that, but with our rock and roll record, and it works. So, like if you listen to that new Queens of the Stone Age record, it's Villains, super cool sounding. Like it's got like this dance beat to it. Like, but it's still their rock and roll sound with deep. Like, I love their deep lyrics, and Queens.
Make sure that's in my library.
Yeah, check that one out. It's a good one. And that's when I found out about him. And then I realized, this dude makes everybody's shit sound amazing. So that's just what he does. Yeah, it's cool. And then they talk about that in the documentary. It's very cool. They get all his artists, everybody he's worked with, to talk about it. So
cool.
That's great. It's the best way to have a documentary, and everybody loves him. So. Seems like a really cool dude. Anyways, then what else do we have? On Hulu, I just got done watching all 10 episodes of the Wu-Tang American Saga.
Oh, I didn't realize it was episodic.
Yeah, it's a series. So they it's awesome. It's written and produced by the guys from Wu-Tang. RZA and guys. So
it's only the truth, and no,
it's definitely not that. But I say that if 50% of this is true, I said if this is like not all just made up, then and some of it is actually true, it's crazy that they even like were able to make music. It didn't seem like that was what was on their mind. Like that
Right.
surviving was on their mind. Some hip hop battle ends up getting them like all, maybe we should just be hip hop artists or do this or whatever. And they go try it. And that kind of gets them thinking about it. But then the mixtapes that start circling around town is what really like blows them up. But it's interesting because they were just, dude, they were doing some bad shit like drugs and gangbanging and shit like that. And like even towards each other, they were trying to kill each other, like which is crazy. And then the beats and this guy, RZA brings them all together, kind of like, why don't we stop killing each other and just work together and make music? And that's why, if you know anything about Wu-Tang, the way they sound, tons of rappers, lots of lineup, like 6 guys on one track or something, and samples from every genre, every all kinds of old school funk music. Just really cool stuff. Like it sounds nice with a beat behind it. You know what I mean? I really like what they do. Kind of like when we were listening to those mashups. Like what they do to be able to mash them up is kind of find the common beat, and that's what you do when you sample that stuff. And their rapping was, some of it was fucking like harsh. Like some of that shit was like, because it was very combative towards each other. They were definitely from different sides of town and shit. Anyways, check that fucking documentary. I don't want to ruin the whole thing for you, but if you like their music, you'll definitely like this. If you don't like their music, I think you'll still like the story. Because it's
right, yeah, like the Temptations documentary.
Yeah,
it plays on VH1 Classic like every week apparently.
Yeah.
But that documentary is really awesome.
VH1 Classic kind of is.
Well, it's
that's
not a
the problem
documentary.
with them.
It's like a
they
movie.
fucking repeat the same things over and over. I get tired of that.
Well, because it's classic. Like you only have so much to draw from.
I know, but there's like 4 channels of like music stuff, or whatever. One of them's just looping shit. The other one's not even playing music. MTV's not music anymore. It's just fucking reality TV shit and shit like that. And then what else is there? There's like a couple more. There's BET, which is just hip hop strictly. So and then there's country, right? And then there are the 4 ones. Is that all there is?
I don't know.
And then if you get the extra channels from whatever DirecTV or however you get your TV,
I haven't.
They always have music channels.
I couldn't name a channel anymore, dude. I don't.
Do you ever go to the hotel and like have to like find something on TV,
rare.
dude? Oh my god, dude!
So
when you have to
rare.
find something on TV, I'm just like, I don't want this at all. Just give me the internet.
Yeah, exactly. The last time we had to do that was when we were in DC. For the tracking.
Yeah, the hotel TV is terrible. Like it's all reality TV. I was in Nashville and just like kind of had some time to kill in the middle of the day. It's terrible. I was like, oh my god, this is the worst. So what I did is I went to the music section, just put on like whatever.
90s
like the
or 80s
I know
or something. Where it just literally
it's
like
just music streamed.
Yeah, like Pandora.
And that's kind of cool, but still they don't really have that
music
awesome
choice. I think
they
is what it's
still
called.
kind of have the predictable shit. I'm like, man, is there any way you can get like the shit that like just deeper, like not the hits? Like where do you get that shit from? Where can you get like people? Why don't they have a fucking channel where they just play a full record? They're never gonna have that. Where they just have like literally they play a full record of one artist and then they play another good record by some other artist.
Well, because you got to think of like who wants that.
I do.
Yeah.
God,
how much money are you spending on that? None.
And you know what suck about it though too is because if you turn it on in the middle of the record, you're like fuck, or right at the end of the record, like I missed the whole fucking record.
Yeah.
I thought this was one of my favorites or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think that works.
And it would have to be high quality too. Like that'd be a big part of it. If they could just stream it high quality, high resolution, all that shit, whatever you.
Yeah, I think the reason that kind of stuff, TV and radio and stuff, is so
quick,
well, like meaningless, almost like broad,
right?
Is because they have to reach as many people as possible. Where now it's like with the internet and with all the resources it brings, we're able to go way deeper with just Matt. Instead of all people that have long hair and like rock.
And now my YouTube is customized, my fucking browser is customized. They know what I like and they figured it out. Now I live in Matt world. I don't live in anybody else's fucking
and that's micro marketing for you. But
why not? Why isn't everything like that? Like why do we have to worry about major marketing?
Because you wouldn't know if it is for someone else because you're just seeing yours.
Dude, if everything was micro marketed like that and there was no mainstream like everybody like this, you'd find out what people truly like. Like if you know what I mean? It would still be, I think
most people need to be told
pressure.
what to like, though,
Yeah, there is. Well, that's where you get amongst your peers, though, right? Like you listen to music, your friend listens to music, and he says, "Hey, listen to this." That was the cool time in music when it was like that was what you did as far as like you shared it amongst yourselves, and because there was no internet, there was no like major TV.
I think you're missing the majority of the population who just doesn't care that much about music, though. Right? They just want to put on like whatever Taylor Swift song. I don't know. That's what's famous. That's what I like.
Majority.
Those are the people that say what kind of music you like, and they say anything with a beat.
Guess what? I can say fuck those people because that majority doesn't listen to this show.
That's very true.
Yeah, but they might use that against me.
I don't think a minority listens to this show.
Yeah, but I don't care. That's what we get. We get the best people. That's what I know.
There you go. I can't stop looking at This part of the logo right here just looks like the absolute value of C to me.
Absolute value of C.
Yeah, you know how the
because
absolute
the two
value
bars
is the
on
2
the
lines, and I just can't stop. I can't unsee it. That's
man,
been
the
bothering me.
eyes are back to back. Anyways,
what was the Netflix one?
Netflix, Taylor Swift.
Right. What was it called? Miss Americana?
Yes.
Yeah.
Miss American or Miss Americana. Yeah. But I've not seen it. You've not seen it. But you said it. You've heard that it's good.
I've heard it's good, and I'm sure it is. She has the budget to make anything good. So
exactly. And these Netflix and Hulu specials are actually like well budgeted. Like they always do a good job. I don't know what they do differently than like these major motion picture production stuff. But they've got to be like they're better. I think. Like I think they're actually better. Like whatever it is, they're letting them
originals.
And you know what? Yeah, when you know what like Joe Rogan says about like the comedy specials and that whole circuit. The Netflix, if you get a deal with them, they let you do whatever you want. Like they just say like, let us look at it afterwards, and you know. Actually, I think he said some crazy shit. Like they didn't even look at his last one. They were just like, all right, cool, thanks. And it was it. It was like it was up. So I don't know, like if that's a specific Joe Rogan thing, or if that's like how they deal with all their things, you know, or if it's just the comedy area that they deal with.
They've kind of figured it out. Yeah.
I mean, obviously, you have to let good art. You have to let it breathe. You have to let the person fucking do their thing and see their vision through. If you're too hands on, getting too much in there, and this goes with the music, and this goes with everything. Getting in there all the time with their like, oh yeah, but the mainstream popularity likes this though, so you should probably change it and do this.
You should have more jokes about Trump,
right? Exactly,
whatever.
Whatever. Then you get immediately you have a problem because first of all, the comedian doesn't believe, even if he agrees with you and says, yeah, you're right, we should put more. He doesn't believe what he's saying. He's still just putting it in there because he's right. And I guess you don't have to believe what you're saying in comedy is a kind of a weird thing, but there is a thing to be genuine. You know, I think there's a connection to be made when somebody's genuine.
Yep.
I can always sense it when somebody's being disingenuous and, you know, just it rubs you the wrong way a little bit.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's kind of like, I feel that with some local bands. It's like, do you even want to be doing this?
Right, exactly. So, or they're just doing it because they're, you know, forced to, or they have to make money somehow.
Yeah, I don't know. It's
this
weird.
is the only thing
if you want to make money, don't start a local band. Let's go back. You messed up way before.
Yeah, exactly. You thought there was money in this. Somebody, you know, that could be the way they grew up. Somebody who made music before, you know, and they had ended up making music for a living, and then that's their parent, you know, and then they decide they're like, oh, this is how you make music, and you know, this is how you make money. I mean, and, you know, you make music and you go out and play music. That's how you you pay your bills. Just because that's where that person ended up.
I feel like you might think that till you're like 7 or 8, but then once your own brain starts forming,
you should start thinking to yourself like, how am I going to make some real bread?
Yeah.
Because music ain't the way.
Let's obtain this grain.
Listen, there's a potential to make a lot of money in music, but it is so slim.
Sure.
The margin.
You can make good
slim.
money in music. Like we're making pretty good money.
Well, yeah. And that's how you approach it is a very smart way. So that's another thing. Is a lot of people do not put that much effort into it. They just think they're going to play music and that's going to be it.
Yeah, that's true.
That's not the way that works, really. You have to put more effort in than everybody else is putting in and somehow stand out.
Yeah, we had a lot of good reviews on the Amos's show that I was happy to see seemed to praise us for the work we put in. It seemed like even the casual person realized like these guys really worked putting this thing together.
Everybody had a good time. No, that's no question about it.
I was really happy to see that. It's nice to work so hard on something and then have that validated.
Oh yeah, dude. And that's the thing too, is you set yourself up to make sure that it's validated in a way that you made sure you did the promotion work and you made sure you guys, you know, had a packed house and everything. You know, like that's huge, you know, to make the whole thing happen. Yep. Otherwise, if you had 5 people show up, doesn't matter how good you are, like it's not going to feel good.
Yeah. And then the video's a failure.
Yeah, exactly. So there's a lot of things.
Or not a failure, but looks very different.
There's a lot of things around a show you have to take care of to make sure that it's going to be a good time and make sure that it's going to go off, you know?
Yeah, anytime you see one of those promo videos or something, not a music video, a promo video, different thing, and you don't see a crowd, it's because there wasn't one.
Right, exactly.
Because I promise you, if there was a good crowd, like we had a good crowd, we're going to be putting that in the video first and foremost. Exactly. Like you're going to know there were a lot of people there.
Every new photographer that I work with, I always tell them, I said, if there's people here, make sure you get a shot of how many people are here. Like this is important to show that, you know, we're not just out here playing to nobody. People are out here. Come out and have a good time with us all.
Yep.
You know, and this
is
helps,
the place
man.
to be.
Exactly. That's where you want to look. This is the place to be. That's from, dude, you know where that's from?
Nope.
Fast Times at Ridgemont High, dude.
Oh, okay.
Where he says, always walk into a place and pretend like this is the place to be. Even if it's not, it's like, isn't this great? That's what he said. He walks in, it's so unconvincing when he says, isn't this great? And I'm just like, oh yeah. That movie's classic. Old movie, but very classic.
Yeah, I never saw it.
Oh, dude, you should.
I haven't seen
a lot of Van Halen stuff in it because of the era. It was in the late 70s?
Early 80s?
Yeah, late 70s, 80s, whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, so and if you've been listening to the show for long enough, you probably know this already about me, but there's pretty much every like famous, you've got to see this movie I have not seen.
Just watch them. Start plugging them away, man. Just like you know what you
like
put.
watching
Yeah,
other stuff.
I know. Like I put them on at night, dude. And
Movies are just such a big commitment. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they are.
Where like I can sit down and watch one episode of a TV show and then get up and go do something else. Or
start watching that Wu-Tang Saga, dude. I'm telling you, it's so good. Watch the first episode.
Yeah, I'll have to watch it.
You'll be sold. Just because of like, I love the plight of any musician, like somebody who started from nothing. Like literally, he started from dying, like having to worry about like trying to stay alive. Like that was his worry, but also making music at the same time. And a love for music kind of just overtook that whole thing.
Okay, it
got him out of gangbanging. I don't know. It's a great story.
Cool,
great story.
That's a plus, I guess.
Yeah, and he was just on Rogan's podcast. I don't know if you saw that.
Which one? What's his name?
RZA, RZA, and he was on there with somebody else. Forget.
I need to check that out. Let me see if I can
it's
add
good.
that.
It's a good podcast. He's smart, dude, man.
Wait, how recent was it?
2-3 months ago.
Let's see, it's just RZA.
Yeah, and that's another thing is people don't even realize what it is. People don't even realize what his name is when they see that. Like if they don't know how it's spelled.
Oh, he was there with Donnell Rawlings.
That's it, Donnell Rawlings. That's right, dude. That's what makes it even better. Donnell Rawlings is so funny to me.
He's so funny, but like one thing that kind of bugs me is he seems super racist against white people.
Kinda.
Like everything he says is just like, it's like, all right, I'm getting a vibe that you genuinely don't like white people because we're white. Like,
I could see,
and that's like true racism, and that kind of bothers me.
No, I can see how you see it that way, but I think he talks about it in like an aware way. Like a lot of people are afraid to like say like the different, but he says it just like about black people too. He says
he's
like
a funny
a lot
guy
of things.
for sure.
I
just kind of got that vibe from like a couple of his podcasts, and I was like,
I think you might have to watch more to fully.
Well,
see
I mean, I've already seen
scope.
like 2 or 3 of them that are like 2 hours in length. Like I've heard him talk for 6 hours.
Okay.
Like,
then
how much are you hiding in 6 hours?
No, then he might just not be your style. I don't know. Some people are just like really outspoken on certain things, and you don't want to hear it. Like me personally, I don't like hearing the N word a million times in my music. Like it just doesn't first of all get across to me, and I think it's kind of uncreative
and like lazy.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like, so for me, that's just something I don't prefer. Maybe you don't prefer Donnell Rawlings' style of calling out he calls out all the races. I think he calls them all out, and it's a weird style. It's almost like he believes that. Yeah.
I don't remember any specific things he said. That's just the vibe I walked away from.
I know what you mean, though. Yeah.
I just walked away with this vibe that like, I don't know about that, man.
I know what you mean. I could see how
it seemed like he was just like, well, all white people are racist, so I don't like white people. It's kind of like, well, wait a second, I didn't sign up for that. Like, don't put me in that group.
Yeah, but you have to. All right, so understand though that he did an interview with Joe Rogan, and Joe Rogan didn't take offense to his style at all. Like, and he
he was on Tom Segura's podcast and Bert's. Those are the 3 I watched.
So understand that it's not like, I don't think it's offensive, like in the way.
And there were some moments where he would interact with those guys, and I was like, maybe it just flares up in some moments where he's trying to be funny or something,
Yeah, who knows, man. I mean, if you watch the Chappelle show and see where like he came from on a lot of that stuff, it's kind of a similar jive style.
I also listened to his stand-up special. Maybe that's where I was getting it from.
Maybe.
But I also don't remember particularly thinking it was really funny. Like, but, I mean, not every stand-up's for everybody. In the same way that it's so funny. People think comedy is funny all the time. You should like all comedy, but comedy's, it's like saying music.
Right.
Like, okay, well, I like rock, but I don't like certain country, or I don't like certain, jazz or whatever you don't like.
And how about all the elements in comedy? Like just the physical comedy, acting and the writing of it, like your style. There's so many different styles. There's satirical. There's just so many different like ways. There's set up punchline jokes.
Yep.
There's this. So
there's like just a lot of one-liners, like Mitch Hedberg.
Yeah, so that's why it's so hard to compare them all too, or say who's the best. It's like, I don't know. Like this person's funny as hell. Like I laughed. How much did my face hurt after I saw him? I don't know. Like how do you judge them? How do you?
Well, it's like saying. Who's the best comedian is like saying who's the best musician.
Right.
It's like, well, what, you talking about guitar?
Right.
You talking about singing? Like, what are you talking about? Like,
even just rock and roll. Like, even if you talk about just rock and roll, there's a huge,
you have to break it down. What instrument? What So comedy, and I think comedy's seen such a huge explosion in the past 5 to 10 years.
It's come back. It had an explosion.
I would like to eventually see like actual genres break down in comedy.
Yeah, that'd be cool. It'd be nice.
They kind of do that on Netflix, but it seems like they label them all irreverent.
That's a really good point.
You know what I mean?
Why don't we differentiate the styles of comedy? I mean, there are definitely like dark comedies in movies and in TV shows, right? Like there's dark comedies and there's comedies, but there's not like this guy's a punchline comedian or this guy's. And how about just the fact that being a comedian in a movie is a different thing? Like you're finding comedy within the script is what you're doing essentially. Like a lot of times they don't write everything that's comedical in a fucking comedy movie. Like they bring the comedian in. Here's the plot. It's already kind of funny. It already has these things that are happening that are funny. But then there's other funny things that happen in it. that are just due to the comedian. And I forget who said that. Chris Rock was like, somebody said, shouldn't you get paid for that or whatever? And Chris Rock said, it's like just part of the gig, man. Like they're already paying me for the movie. That's what they pay for. They pay for me to come in and funny this thing up and like knock it out of the park. And that's doing a good job. And I thought that was like a humble move. He's like, somebody thought he should get paid more because he's adding to the script and doing it. Like that's just part of it. You know what? And I think it was the director that said, I think you should get paid for this or shouldn't you be credited for this? And he was like, dude, you just take it. That's you. Because this is what I do.
Yeah, and that's a true artist, I think, because
good way to look at it.
A true artist knows that, like, hey, I'm not worried about the credit because I can reproduce this anytime.
Sure.
And I'm not worried about like, songwriting 5%, 10%, this, that, and the other, because I'll just go write another one.
Exactly.
Like it doesn't bother me.
And he understands that he's like a craftsman. Like he can do that. He can make it anytime he wants. But also you learned that what we talked about, I think maybe 1 or 2 episodes ago, that when your art is not actually yours, once you release it, now it's everybody's. Like it's not you to decide anymore to change it or to do to be able to change people's opinions on it. It is what it is. People think if you think you wrote a rock song and people go out and call it a funk song or whatever they want to call it, that is not for you to decide anymore. You don't get to say, no, it's a rock song. Like, well, people are calling it funk, then it's funk now. Like that's what it is. So, and that's the funny thing about it is like,
although if you wrote a funk song, you thought it was rock.
Sure. Yeah, you're a weird person. You got some weird things to sort out. But
what's everyone calling this jazz? It's metal.
Exactly. So, but what I'm saying is that's an extreme version of it. Like it just depends. Like if you think it's amazing and people don't think it's amazing, that's not it's just
conversation stops there.
Yeah, it's not how it works.
You don't get to decide for other people.
The art is
only yourself.
Is everybody else's at that point, and they are all free to interpret it their own way. And that's the crazy thing about it. I don't know. In a way, it's letting go. As soon as you release it, it's like letting it go. Yep. So that's like the comedian thing. He's like, he did something funny in the thing. Should he fight for getting paid for that little funny thing? Probably not. That's just let it go. This is it. This is what's coming out.
Well, because Rock knows he can just go do it again somewhere else or go do a special.
And isn't that why they paid him? Isn't that why they paid him though? It's like it's part of the thing. Like he's gonna be funny. Like it's it. That's why you get a lead role in a comedy flick because you're funny. Eddie Murphy. Like we're talking about like the Bill Cosby, all the people that are funny. Yeah. Anyways, what were we talking about earlier? I want to go to.
We were talking about. We were just wrapping up the 3 different documentary recommendations.
Yeah. So go check all those out. Those are all really good.
So quick recap on those.
How to Be Mark Ronson on YouTube. Wu-Tang: An American Saga on Hulu, and on Netflix is the Taylor Swift Americana. Miss Americana.
Yeah, I think so. That one just came out, I think, a couple weeks
and
ago.
it's Sundance nominated or whatever, so that's good, or maybe even winning. I'm not sure exactly.
I don't know how Sundance works. I barely know what it is.
It's a film festival.
Yeah, I know it's the film festival, but I don't know.
Even just getting nominated to go to it is a big honor. Okay, and cool. if you win something there, it's amazing.
That's so funny to me. Like, of course she got nominated. Like, I'm surprised she didn't get nominated for something bigger. Like,
well, it's the film that got nominated.
Remember, we're talking about the lady with the most #1 hits of all time.
Correct. But it's not just based on that. They're talking about how the film was done and produced and put together, and that's what the Sundance is all about.
From a film artistic
the fact
standpoint.
that it's going to be huge is just the fact that her name is huge. That's a guaranteed win. But the fact that it's got a Sundance film recommendation or anything like that,
I'm just
it's amazing.
Always a little skeptical on that stuff. Like,
it's just paid for. You think?
I think it definitely could be. Like, hey, our marketing budget, let's get into Sundance. Like, you know what I mean?
There's a lot of people who take pride in that, what that means to be a Sundance artist and stuff like that. And they don't just put that on anything, I think. But
that's good. And I'd like to believe
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is the one that everybody questions. That one is just garbage. Like what they've left out over the years and what they've put in are super questionable. Like, what are we? Like, what are you calling rock and roll these days? You know what I mean? Like it just. There's a lot of stuff in there that doesn't belong in there. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that hasn't been put in, and everybody's pissed off about it. So with Sundance, like that kind of thing has maintained its reputation.
That's good. I don't know anything about Sundance, so I can't speak for it, but I am a little suspect of anything like that. Like Bill Burr makes funny jokes about it. He's like, "Are you crying because you're an adult who didn't win a trophy?" Like, stop.
I don't know who he's talking about specifically. That's funny.
He was talking about Oscars and all the people that are just,
they cry.
Dude, it's just a shit show.
Oh, I don't watch that shit.
I don't either. But
I don't watch it. I know about Sundance. Sundance and Oscars, I think, are different things. Like there's some that are true to art. Like that are still. I don't know. And there's other ones too that I don't.
But then and while that may be true, it still seems like all the big names get in.
Well, they got the big guys that make good shit. Like like you can't just attribute it to the fact that all these big names are and they must be paying for it because they got the money to.
Well, you can pay for it in different ways. You can pay for it by paying Sundance. You can pay for it by having $100 million budget. And so, yeah, you have a fucking awesome film.
Right. So then, yeah, in that sense, then yes. But I mean, if you're just talking about like, yeah, I guess the budget and the people who know what to do.
Like, of course, this one's better.
But
than
isn't
the,
it
than the
important
$1
to
million
know what to do with the
film,
budget?
you know?
It's still important.
Yeah, I mean, you can make a
do.
garbage movie for $100 million for sure.
Yeah,
we see it
so
all
that's
the
what
time.
I'm saying.
But,
So that's what I'm saying. So it is like a good thing that we are like having a thing that is like critiquing the art itself. And even though this is a documentary about Taylor Swift, it is like on the representation.
it just
of
seemed
the film.
like the reputation that I thought Sundance had, and I don't know anything about it, but I thought they were like, you know, B movies, indie films. Like, we're going to select the best of the best of people that kind of don't have anything to work with and still made something great.
No.
And now all of a sudden, fucking massive movies.
It's before they're released. I'm pretty sure it's the pre-showing. I think is how that works. It's like they show the movie even before it's like finished. Like they'll go there, and I think that's what I'm trying to remember. Like
I wish I knew more about it because I
wish
probably
I did
sound really
too.
ignorant. But.
Yeah, I mean, I might even too. But my thought was that they were like the people that you heard from. Like when they critique movies,
right,
you know, and like
right.
and even before the movie's out,
everybody loves those people.
Right. Well, if they're good, they do. You know, if they tell them to write something, you know, write a good thing about a good piece, you know, whatever. Anyways.
Everything I see now about critics, especially with film, is they don't seem to be indicative of like what the population feels. For example, Step Brothers got like a 1 out of 10.
The Tomatoes thing
and like, but like all the fans are like, these critics suck. This movie was awesome.
Yes,
like,
and that's super interesting.
Pop culture would disagree with you.
Yeah, and there's a lot of things that just miss because it's never been seen before. Like this style or this approach has never been seen before, and they're like,
right, yeah.
Oh, this isn't that good, and then people like kind of attach to it, and that's hard to argue with.
And they just start throwing out like,
which is why I think what you were talking about earlier, micro marketing is
yeah.
such a smart thing. If we can get everything to be that way, like if everybody could be on. And this kind of goes to that privacy thing where people are going to, the browser and the, YouTube is going to spy on what you watch. They know what you watch. They're not, they're not oblivious to it. Obviously, they run the fucking thing. And then they're going to recommend and show you things that are more like that. And they're going to find you out. They're going to figure out.
That kind of stuff I think is helpful.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not against the advertising or the tracking in some aspects.
Yeah.
Because it's going to help tell me that, like you were just saying, the micro marketing. How's it going to know what I like if, if it's recommending like dog food ads, well, that's useless. I don't have a dog.
Right.
So like, I would much rather see ads on guitars and cool stuff that I like,
Exactly. It's working.
If I'm going to see ads either way, I might as well see relevant ones.
Yeah. So it's working for you and it's helping the situation. It's making like my Spotify actually is really good at like just using the radio like thing. And that's using everybody. That's saying like people who listen to this song also like this song.
Right.
So it kind of uses a conglomerate of everything. And that's also helpful.
That's got to be like a just crazy complex algorithm.
Oh, dude, I bet. And who's to say it's not wrong?
Can anyone say what an algorithm is? Like, what does that word mean? Yeah. What does that mean? Where do you type that in? What does that formula look like?
If you
go to algorithm.com,
watch Silicon Valley, dude. They talk about
I've seen that whole show like 4 times.
Dude, they talk about that shit on there all the time.
Yeah, but not in the way that like I want to know how it really works.
Think about like the tree thing that's like a formulaic tree. I don't know what you call it, where you like if this happens then go here, if this happens then go there.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like
chart.
that.
Yeah.
And it's also like a big net too, also. So it must be some fucking. It is complex. I don't know. I'm not gonna act like I know anything about that. But
blows my mind.
What it is a formula that just fucking tells it the thing where to save this stuff. Where okay, this person liked this, then you must like this too. Try this. And then if you thumbs down something, then that throws another kink into this algorithm. That's a part of this formula, And there's the thumbs up, obviously, and I don't know exactly what it does with all that. But imagine somebody misses a fucking one, or misses some one number, and this algorithm's fucked. Like everybody's like. Why does it keep?
Well, then they have to go back through the 8,000 lines of code to find the little thing they missed.
I can imagine. I don't know how they do that stuff. But
here's how it's wrong. I forgot a bracket.
It's mind blowing that we are, as a human species, have gotten to this level. Actually, you know what I mean? To think that we have technology that strong and that like what we could narrow in on, what we can find what we like and it's great. The music has never been a better time to be a music fan because you can get it anywhere. And there's so much.
And that's that's the micro thing, I think, to a T, right?
Yeah. It's personalized.
Like you can go listen to only your friends' bands if
not
you
the
want.
musician, but the
you
music
can go listen
lover.
to music by bands that only have people that you know in them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you don't have to listen to anything mainstream. I could just listen to your band, my buddy's band, my buddy's band, my buddy's band.
Now that everybody can get on Spotify now, and I'm glad there's some kind of filter at least to where not the totally dog shit or like not stuff that's just a joke or too much, crazy stuff that gets on there. Like there is still a filter and a quality level.
Well, the quality filter is the people themselves, I think.
That's true too.
Because it's going to reward things that are getting upvoted. If it's a garbage song, but everyone's upvoting it and listening to it, and it's got millions of streams, you're going to see that.
Is the database endless? is the database like they'll never run out of space? They can upload as much as they want.
That's dependent on like how many server farms they have.
And you'll never see like, because obviously like our music's not going down, like it's going to be up there for good. And that's cool because then later on we can see how people like can still check it out and look at it or whatever, right? But what about like stuff that never got listened to or never like, I don't know, like if something just didn't like never do anything, are we going to leave it on there forever? Are we going to?
I don't know how that works. Maybe they can remove it. I guess it's kind of dependent on it's not dependent on Spotify. It's dependent on the people who put it there, like CD Baby and those kind of people.
Right. I guess they would. Yeah. Huh. That's interesting.
They're the ones dealing with that.
That's interesting.
So to my knowledge, Spotify actually does. You can now upload directly to Spotify.
Yeah.
Which seems really dumb.
Yeah, now we're...
Like, why would I upload to Spotify? Now I'm going to have to do this to 15 sites.
Exactly.
And then I still missed 40 of them because I've never heard of them.
If you specifically wanted to be on Spotify, if that's the one you listened to and you thought that everybody would be able to find
Spotify's the biggest. It's a safe bet. You know, Spotify and YouTube.
Yeah.
If you're going to do one, I would do that one. But you're still missing out.
Why not do a host?
Yeah, exactly.
Having a PRO and all that.
PRO is a little different.
But I mean, it ties it all together. It ties it all together is what I'm saying.
Well, PRO is a different company. That's the people that collect your royalties. CD Baby's not a PRO. CD Baby's just a distributor.
Okay. They did.
PROs are like
they did make
BMI.
the connection. They made the connection in the link to, they said, hey, you have to have a PRO. They made the whole setup really easily. Like, I think that's partly why I attribute it to them.
Well, because CD Baby's going to tell ASCAP, hey, we've played this song this many times. Send Matt this much money.
Yes. Right. But what they do is when you set up your CD Baby account, they hook you up. Like if you're doing a release, they say, all right, here's the 3 things you have to pick one of these sites to go with for your PRO. So that way you get paid for what you're, That's your published rights organization. Publishing rights
Performance right organization.
Oh, it's performance?
Yeah.
I thought it was publishing.
No.
Oh, it's performance rights. Okay. All right.
It's performance or performing. I don't remember which one.
Okay. So anyways.
Wouldn't it be great if we could just look it up?
No, we don't have that kind of technology. Yeah. Might get a couple things here. PRO, music, something. You have to...
This is just like, we're down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, PRO, BMI, there you go. How about what is a PRO? Oh, there you go.
Performing rights organization. Okay, cool.
And publishers, it says, are paid.
So there you go. There's your definition. But CD Baby and TuneCore, those are not PROs.
Right. No, but they
There's only 3 in the United States, and that's ASCAP, BMI, and CSAC. CSAC's invite only, so you probably only have to worry about the first 2.
I just like that they hooked me up with that setup, like they're like, all right, you have to get this, you have to do this,
right?
And
just make sure they kind of walk you through everything.
They walk you through everything really nicely. CD Baby, I gotta say, is the best one. I mean, we've used a couple different ones.
We recommend CD Baby. We've had Kevin Bruner, their vice president of marketing, on this podcast.
Yeah, and then Bandzoogel's good for some people. They can get a lot done. Like
Bandzoogle doesn't do distribution.
They don't do that at all. Oh, I thought they did.
No, TuneCore, DistroKid, CD Baby. There's a lot of them, but Bandzoogel's not one.
Oh, I thought they were.
Reverb Nation. You said Reverb Nation did it.
Yeah, they did it. That's why I thought Bandzoogle did it too.
No, Bandzoogel's just website. Okay. They'll handle merch and stuff, sales, but
not they had some way.
Not streaming.
Mistaken. Sorry.
They don't want to get into that world, I don't think. They like to do Bandzoogle likes to do what they do, and they don't usually change too much.
Sure.
And when they do add something, it's really helpful. Like the crowdfunding thing they just added, which basically makes it so you can make your own Patreon page. Yeah. Like with no fees taken or anything.
Yeah,
that's
kind of
beautiful.
Cool. That's cool.
And stuff. What else did we have to talk about?
Oh, we wanted to talk about. We had gotten a little conversation about going solo a little bit, which is kind of an interesting, subject as far as
like
how many
famous
people have
bands
made it and how many people have made
like
it. Like
the front man leaves and goes solo, right?
Right. Yeah. How many of it worked and what didn't work? And like an interesting one is Kiss. They all 4, like when they broke up or whatever, they all 4 did a solo career, and it was kind of like
Gene Simmons is so bad.
And it's just a funny thing that you can like compare all 4 of them. Like it's almost like collecting them all.
Ace Frehley had a pretty successful.
Everything they do is like a collectible. Yeah, Ace Frehley did well, and I think Gene's did well. I think Gene's was the second best one.
Okay,
but it's funny that you can almost collect all the Kiss things. Everything about them is collectible, like their characters. Their records, their
do you remember
now they all have their own solo record. They all have like.
Do you remember the cartoon? Did you ever see that?
I saw clips. I don't think I've ever watched it.
I've never seen the whole thing, but I saw the clips too. It's just like
it's interesting. What? They're a whole brand. They're a whole brand, dude. They had everything. I
respect the business and the hustle side of it, but
and that's the record label. It has to be. And I think Gene was probably a big promoter of and going with whatever the record company said. And
it just seemed like they had their minds on that, and the music suffered. Because the music to me is pretty lame.
I'll say that I like it, man. I'll always say I like it. Like I don't like everything they've ever done.
A couple
and
good songs,
really
but I think a lot of it's like
I don't love their studio sound. I don't love their studio sound. I really like the live show records, and seeing them live was what changed my mind about them. Actually, have you ever seen them live? I think it might change your mind a little bit.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
there's
a
only so
huge
many flames you
performance.
can shoot in my face to make me like the music, though.
You got to be there to say that. I'm telling you. It's not even just about that, dude. It's about the whole performance of it. It's just.
I don't doubt it's an amazing live show. I just don't like
show.
the music they're playing. So
Okay.
it's like very much. You know, I
Sounds
like
great.
a couple
Sounds
songs.
good live.
I like
Sounds really good live, man.
Lick It Up a lot. I like God of Thunder is really cool.
Yeah.
Of course, Rock and Roll All Night.
Sure.
It's not my favorite, but it's it's a good one. What's the other one? I don't like Detroit Rock City at all. I can't stand that song.
There's a shitload of them, man. Like,
but hits? Did they have that many hits? Really?
I don't care about
I think
hits.
the reason
I don't
they
know
got,
what's a hit. Look it up.
I think the reason they got you into chart history again.
Yeah, we got to stay on the solo career though. There's a couple more people I want to mention for sure, and go down this rabbit hole a little bit. See, because there's.
How do we
it's
know
crazy
that this is true?
We don't know this.
That
peaked at number 31. They never even got it. Oh, 2 top 10 hits, 24 songs. Yeah, I know it's Hot 100 Billboard. Yeah, 200. Yeah, that is a great record. And this goes by albums, not songs.
Right. All right. Gotta make sure I'm talking here.
And top current album sales too.
Well, this is all we have to go on, so we can't promise this is right.
Well, at least we're
yeah,
consistent.
like that's 2 songs. What?
Yeah, Beth and yeah, it's a lot.
I like Calling Dr. Love a lot. I like oh God, what was that one? What song is that?
What is it? I recognize it. I can't think of what it is. Hard Luck Woman's a great song. Shout it, shout it, shout it out loud. It's a great song. I Was Made for Loving You. Great
I'm not
song.
even singing. Oh, there it is. Rock and Roll All Night.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I Was Made for Love Guns. If I Can Kill Her song.
Yeah. So what's interesting to me is they're such a huge band, but never really had chart success. And what that says to me is not that you need chart success. Who cares?
Yeah, I mean, they had marketability.
But what that says
like
to me is that
motherfucker.
it's the shows that people liked.
And just marketability.
And that just
like
this just
the outfits. Look at these guys. You know, like.
But the show and the live aspect of it, that just hammers that home because everybody knows that about Kiss.
Yeah.
Everybody knows the music is like sub to the show.
You know what's crazy is I didn't even really like the way they looked at first. I thought like
Hotter Than
I thought it
Hell.
was
That's
weird.
the name of that
Hotter
song.
Than Hell. Yeah,
That's the other
it's
one
a
I
great
like
song.
a lot.
About to get hotter than hell. He always when he introduced the song, it's so funny to me. Like funny but cool. You know what I mean? Not like laughing at him. But
Could you imagine just talking like that all the time?
Yeah, that's what I think is funny. It's because he's always.
Hey, what's going on, man?
Because he's
Let's
always
do the podcast.
seemingly at the top of his lungs. Are you ready to have a good time tonight? Like just always at the top of his lungs.
That's good though. You gotta.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely way lamer if you're like, hey, how's everybody doing tonight?
Right, exactly. So
You
that's
guys
what I
ready to
mean.
have a
It's
good
just-
time?
It's
Like-
intense, dude. I
Yeah.
can't tell you like how it changed my life to see them actually, to change my mind about them. You know, like a ton of people try to get me into Kiss, and seeing them made all the difference for me. Like I was sold.
I'm sure it's fun. I can't wrap my head around how
Go
seeing
see it.
someone play the music live is going to change
Let's
my
go see
opinion
it.
of the music
Let's go
itself.
see them, and maybe you'll find out. Maybe you'll
You
learn
said you're getting me a
something.
ticket, right?
Huh?
You said you're getting me a ticket, right?
A ticket? Yeah, I will get you one.
Aren't they
Sure.
coming soon?
I don't know.
Spectrum, right?
I gotta find out.
I think they are. Over here. Oh,
Gotta
wrong
look
one.
it up. Anyways, so let's go on
If
more
only,
about
if only
being
we had
solo.
some sort of database we could access
crazy access
that would
to
tell
all the
us
information
what's
that we
going
want.
on. Dude, this is a well done website. Damn,
that
that
shit
looks
looks good.
awesome.
Everything they do, man, top
Font's
notch.
kind of hard to read.
Go see him
What
in
is-
Peru.
what
Let's
does
go see
that
him in
say?
Peru.
Yeah, someone told me
That's a
it was
5.
definitely you. Told me they were coming to like Charlotte soon.
Maybe
Or
Epicenter.
it might have already
I'm not
happened.
doing Epicenter. Maybe it did already happen. I don't know. I think I would have heard about it.
How are these old guys still
All right,
touring
there's
this
Atlantic
hard?
City. Hang on.
Where's
Georgia,
Raleigh?
Raleigh, September 9th. Credit Union in Raleigh. That
Okay,
blows.
we could go to that.
Raleigh. Anyways, not that I hate Raleigh. I just don't want to have to drive all the
That's
way.
4. That's like 3-4 hours. From
3
here.
hours. We're
Sucks.
playing there
Yeah, that's right. When's
March
that gig?
20th.
Advertise that gig.
March 20th.
Yeah.
If anybody's out in Raleigh wants to come out, it's going to be a good time. We're playing with Promo. And not new band, so they came back. They're from that area. Anyways, going solo. So other people that have that come to mind.
Name all the
went
ones you
solo.
can. You go, then I'll go. We'll alternate.
Okay, so David Lee Roth, I think is a big one.
Don Henley.
John Henley. John Corabi,
How do you figure?
because he's a solo artist now.
Yeah, but he wasn't. He
I-
wasn't the famous part of Motley Crue, and
No.
he was a solo
No,
artist
but
before.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, that's not a good one. Vince Neil would be a better one.
Vince Neil would be a better one.
Right.
And that flopped so hard that he embarrassingly went back
that
to
was,
the band.
that was one that did not work very well at all.
None of them really worked.
Let's think.
Well, the first two we listed did work, but what else we got?
We gotta look at how we quantify going solo too, because like Richie Kotzen,
famous band
is solo, but
someone
always
leaves
been
to do their
solo.
own thing.
Okay, that's it. That's the only not just solo artists.
No, not just solo artists. Going solo.
Right.
The famous thing.
Yeah, okay, so what's some other good examples?
I think a lot of the Backstreet Boys did. Like some of them did their own thing.
Oh yeah, every one of them I think did, right? Isn't that one?
I don't know about every one of them, but I know Brian did, and I'm pretty sure Nick Carter did. Here's a perfect one: Justin Timberlake.
Oh yeah,
what a monstrous success that was.
Yeah, obviously. Now he's a fucking superstar.
Rob Thomas.
Rob Thomas.
Matchbox 20.
One. Yeah, that's a good one. Darius Rucker.
That's a great one too.
Hootie and the Blowfish. He can't get away from that. Like, there's a funny Key and Peele little skit where he's on stage and he's like, "Hey everybody, I'm Darius Rucker." Whatever.
Yeah.
They're like, "Hootie," and he's like, "No, I'm Darius Rucker. I'm not in the Hootie and the
There's
Blowfish
no one in the
anymore."
name. There's no one in the band named Hootie. It's like, well, honestly, that's kind of on you.
And then somebody I think yelled like, "Where's Blowfish?" or something. It was like ridiculous. This gets crazy.
Yeah. That's a good sketch.
That is so good. A lot of their shit's really fun.
All of their stuff is amazing. Yeah. Well, not all of it, but a lot of it is really, really good.
What else? Who's gone solo? Paul McCartney, like the Beatles. Like,
there you go.
Like, that's huge.
That worked out.
That's
but
really
do you
good
call
one.
Wings is not solo? That's another band, right?
Right.
But then he does have his own
solo,
stuff too.
Yeah,
and John Lennon as well.
Yeah.
What are some of the ones that didn't work? Although I guess we wouldn't. Josh Todd. That's what brought this all up.
That is what brought this up. I love that Josh Todd, but it didn't work.
Josh Todd.
I love that record. I think it got under promoted. I think it was the loss of the record backing and everything like that. He thought he could just circumvent the whole thing and do his own thing. And
he overestimated how much people cared about him.
But it is under a record
cared about
label.
the band,
right? Exactly.
Buck and Cherry specifically those songs.
Buck Cherry had a great reputation, and he left the band and thought that was just going to be it for him. He's going to be on his own. But I stand behind that music. I think that music is excellent.
I don't remember the music as well.
Check it out. It's heavy though.
I do love Pat Monahan's album from Train. He went solo and did an album, and that album's really good. But again, flopped.
So there you go. So what is the deal? Like, is it because they underpromote it? They don't put so much effort into it because there's kind of like.
I think it seems in particular frontmen grossly overestimate how much people want to see them.
Or maybe it has nothing to do with that. Maybe it has nothing to do with the fact that they think it's going to be successful. It's something they want to do and pursue.
That's also true.
So you can't just like guarantee that it's that. But I know what you mean. I think that it's true that people do think that like, oh, I'll just go out on my own name and this will be.
That's where my mind goes because greed comes in.
Jason Newsted, does he count? Came out with Newsted after, and
I don't know.
Remember that little?
He wasn't really an original like guy.
He was in Metallica. Yeah.
He's a big part of it, but he wasn't like Cliff Burton.
He was the replacement for Cliff Burton, which is why he left because essentially
he does my favorite album, the Black Album.
Yeah, and they picked on him incessantly and just never let up on him, and that's why he never really got the respect that he deserved. That's why he quit the band. He's just like, you know what, this is never gonna go away. And it's only because he came after Cliff, and then Rob Trujillo comes in and is the guy forever. He's been just did the anniversary, his 15-year anniversary or something like that, being in the band.
I think he might have a better personality for it than Newsted. Every interview I've seen with Newsted, he seems pretty pompous.
He's a moody guy, I think, too. And
he seems like really pompous.
Yeah.
And you can hear it in his music. His solo music is like, what the fuck is this, dude? Like,
I like it. I like it. It's got heavy like drive and
I don't like hearing people trying to be like extra artsy. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, you know what? Let's just do this because no one's gonna like it.
I wouldn't say he's extra artsy. I'd say he's extra moody. Like he really does have like a chip on his shoulder kind of thing.
Yeah. But Rob came in and it seemed in the Saint Anger documentary, he was the only cool guy in that whole documentary.
Dude, he's so awesome.
Everyone else looked like an ass.
You know, he was in Suicidal Tendencies, right?
I didn't know that, but he's just seems like such a chill dude. Like
killer.
Never seen anyone say anything bad about him. Who else?
Who else? Famous people who went on their own. We talked about Dave Grohl. He got fame from Nirvana, but not as much fame. He wasn't Kurt Cobain.
Right.
He was in Nirvana, huge band, obviously, and then went out and did Foo Fighters and was a surprisingly amazing frontman.
The first album for Foo Fighters, I've heard this, it was all him on the record, right? All guitars, vocals, bass, drums, everything was him.
At least writing-wise. I don't know.
No, the recording of it. That's what I had heard.
Okay, I don't know if that's the case. I know he
true.
Probably wrote everything for sure because he had so much music written during the time he was in Nirvana. He was writing songs.
Right.
And he said in a famous interview, he says like, but I had Kurt Cobain. He goes, why would I? He said, I had Kurt Cobain writing songs. Why would I disrupt that? He's like, what he was doing was obviously working. People were like, oh, you have all these songs? Having trouble over there?
Yeah, camera's not focusing. Blurring me out. Come on, dude. Let's do this.
It's because of the light in the door, I think.
There we go.
There you go.
Hello.
It's a little fuzzy.
It'll get there.
Yeah, whatever. Anyways, but so there's a famous thing. He says, "Yeah, I had Kurt Cobain writing songs. What he was doing differently was working. So why would I step in and try and disrupt that?
Yeah,
he had
that's
plenty
smart.
of songs.
That's really smart.
So he kept it to himself, but kept crafting, which is cool. You know, kept writing, kept doing that.
Yeah, so he got to get good at writing songs while not having to actually.
That's a good recommendation right there to do. If you're in a band right now and you can write and you have the urge to write and you want to write music, but maybe it's not going to work for that band, don't necessarily stop writing. I think you should always be writing, and that's kind of where solo careers come from. I think too, is like on the subject of solo careers that, you always kind of are writing and always having experiences, always finding things that may not work in this band, this particular project you're working in, or maybe that your opinion isn't part of the band. Maybe that's not your thing, right? If you're the bass player in a band that's already got 3 songwriters, I mean, it's kind of hard to get an edge. It's like, I'm definitely down for everybody writing songs, but I understand how it could be hard to want to put input in. You know what I mean? When there's so much already happening or something like that.
Yeah, for sure.
So I just understand how these things work. But I think if you do have the urge to write, you should. And I think you should write all the time and write your own music, write your own lyrics and stuff like that, songs, whatever, however you do it, write all the time. I think that's a huge bonus. And that's like what Dave Grohl did. Like, he wasn't going to stop writing just because, well, we got somebody who's done it. Don't be complacent. Sure. Don't be complacent. Like, how about work hard? So that way, in case this doesn't work out, in case, they kick you out of the band next week.
Yeah, because Nirvana didn't work out. Who would have thought that?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
It didn't work out for a different reason. I mean,
but that's what I'm saying. Stuff can work out even though it's going perfect.
Right.
You could have been in Nirvana at that time and been like, dude, I don't need to write songs. I'm crushing it.
Exactly. And then tomorrow you find out Kurt Cobain killed himself.
Now it's all done.
So then he had a backup plan. Obviously, it wasn't like his first thing on his mind, but it was like something that he was able to fall back on. And he knew so much about music, met a ton of people in the music industry. It probably wasn't very hard for him to get this, the first album together and out. You know what I mean? When he finally decided to put it together. I don't know that for sure. I could be smacking him in the face with all the hard work he did. But I bet it was, like it came together easily. At least the music was there. Like,
so a little inside.
Sound City, right? Wasn't that they talked about it a little bit? I think they talked about it a little bit in there.
Maybe, yeah.
When he bought the Sound City studio board.
That was a good documentary.
Yeah.
And also Sonic Highways is really good.
Sonic Highways is great.
I need to rewatch those.
I do too. Because
little inside rock story. Duff McKagan was on the flight with Kurt Cobain to Seattle. That like Kurt killed himself like the next day.
Would be his final flight to Seattle.
He killed himself like the next day or the day after or something. And they like talked and like, hey man, how's everything going? Like,
not too good, I bet.
It's pretty crazy.
Damn, that is crazy. So,
any closing thoughts? Any last words? Famous last words? Give me something good.
How about I just say, see ya?
That works. All right, we'll see you guys next time. Have a good week.
For me, man.